that it starts.
And I just need to say it. And Mehdi Hasan, you have the final word in this debate. One more time, your argument for why Israel's actions in the Gaza war were not justified.
Ladies and gentlemen, were the actions of Israel in Gaza justified? Look, the argument is pretty simple tonight and pretty hypocritical from Elon. What we've heard tonight is that nothing justifies October the 7th, but October the 7th justifies everything. Well, I'm here tonight to tell you, no, October the 7th does not justify everything. It does not justify the suffering in Gaza. It does not justify the killing of kids in Gaza. It does not justify the starvation in Gaza. It does not justify the rape and torture of Palestinian detainees, which Elon refused to condemn tonight. It does not justify any of that. It doesn't justify the tearing up of the Geneva Conventions, the defiance of international law and the ICC and our own Leahy law. Yes, October the 7th was a war crime, but the response to a war crime is not to commit your own series of war crimes on an epic scale. 33 times as many people killed since October the 7th as were killed on October the 7th. And I'll say this to you. Look, very, very clearly, if you support this motion tonight, you are opening the gates of hell. Not just in Gaza, but globally, because every dictator and tyrant around the world will say, Israel's actions were justified? Then so are mine. Putin, Assad, Kim, they'll all say, Israel killed kids. Israel killed aid workers. Israel killed journalists. So can we. And I will be very clear. I will be very clear with you tonight. If you are here tonight, ladies and gents, if you're here tonight to defend what Israel's done, knowing full well what Israel has done, if you're defending the human suffering in Gaza, the amputation of little kids, if you're doing that in full knowledge, then you're not just here to defend the indefensible or justify the unjustifiable. I'm sorry, you're a sociopath. And I will say to you, please, don't be a sociopath tonight. Don't support war crimes. Don't defend a genocide. Join me and every human rights organization in the world, every humanitarian aid agency on the planet, every American doctor and nurse who's been out to volunteer in Gaza. Join us in opposing this ridiculous and offensive and horrendous motion. And on behalf of the Al-Dos family, who Elon clearly doesn't give a damn about, I beg to oppose this motion.
I am curious. Did anybody have their minds changed tonight by anything they heard? Wow. All right. Thanks. John Levine. Yeah. So here's the thing. The reason I turned down John's question, we really try to preserve the integrity of what a debate is supposed to be, and it's supposed to be about the question, and it's supposed to stay on the question. It's supposed to avoid personal attacks. But you came all this way, and Mehdi would actually, it seems, like to answer the question, so go for it. This is an extra.
You were accused of being in the pay of Qatar. Elon accused you of being in the pay of Qatar earlier. You took objection to that. I'd like you to be able to dispel that you're taking any money from Qatar by confirming that you're not taking money for Zateo for Qatar. Is Qatar funding Zateo? Yes or no?
It's a great question, John, because you work as a media correspondent for the New York Post. No, I'm not. I'm answering your question. Patience. We waited for you. You're a media columnist for the New York Post, were you not?
I'm a political reporter for the New York Post.
You were at one time a media columnist. You should read the Washington Post interview that I did literally when Zateo was founded. And Jeremy Barr, an excellent reporter, slightly better one than you, he asked me that question. And I said, no, we haven't taken any money from foreign governments or foreign citizens. Every investor in Zateo is an American citizen, has nothing to do with Qatar. So nice try, better luck next time. By the way, since we're all in the spirit of asking questions, how do you feel about taking money from the racist Rupert Murdoch every day?
All right. I regret taking that question. I regret the times this debate failed to be high-minded by two people whom I otherwise respect. And I want to say that concludes our debate. I want to thank our debaters, Ilan Levy and Mehdi Hassan. We appreciate that you did show up and that you at least talked, maybe not to one another, but at one another vigorously and vociferously. And in fact, you were listening to one another, if only to counter, but you were listening to one another, and I think that's